Yoda brothers, what's up? It's the director. Chargers fans, how you guys doing today? I love these little sneak peek videos, like the videos that talk about what's going to happen in the 2020 season. We've gone through a couple of different phases of the offseason so far. You know, we had the offseason as far as picking up free agents, which went really well. And then the NFL draft, which was also really awesome. We've got some things to talk about here with the offense of the 2020 Chargers. What's the depth chart going to kind of look like? I'm not going to have every single player on the depth chart here. We're going to use a tier ranking list, kind of show who I think should be starting at each position for the Chargers. Before we get started, guys, if you like these kinds of videos, hit us up with a like and sub, man. Get excited about the new Chargers 2020 offense coming into the season. With that, let's get into this video. All right, so we got a tier rankings video. I'll put the link to this tier ranking list in the description for you guys to fiddle around with as well. Have some fun with it. But I'm just going to kind of give you my take of what I think the Chargers are going to look like as far as depth in their offense coming up this season. We'll make this simple. We'll make this easy. Let's start with quarterback. There's this... I just say let's make it easy, and this is going to be probably the most difficult one. A lot of people talking about let's roll in with Justin Herbert as our QB1 this upcoming season. As far as I'm concerned, and the way that I think that we should proceed with Justin Herbert, I do think we should give Herbert as much time as possible to sit, learn, and develop. Whether that be, you know, coming in, you know, week 4 or maybe sitting the entire first year. I think it would be a good idea to let him sit his entire first year, but you never know what's going to happen. So based on that, I'm going to go look for Tyrod Taylor down here, and we're going to put him in the depth chart as QB1. I think we should roll out with Tyrod Taylor, quarterback 1. Let's see what he's got in the tank, man. He's taken his previous team, the Buffalo Bills, to the playoffs once before with the kind of a terrible roster, so you never know. Anthony Lynn believes in this guy. I feel like we as Chargers fans should support him, so I like QB1 as Tyrod Taylor. Let's get into our next quarterback here. We do have 3 on the depth chart. Obviously, this is going to be our first round pick, Justin Herbert. Kind of went over what I think about Justin Herbert. Yes, he does need to sit a little while, but at the same time, there's a lot of untapped potential with this kid, man. A lot to be optimistic about. Very excited to see what he comes out with in the 2020 season, maybe the 2021 season. But a lot of Chargers fans, man, we're all going to be sitting there wondering when Justin Herbert's going to get the start, when Justin Herbert's going to be put into the game, and that's going to be something that, you know, kind of hangs over our heads for the entirety of the 2020 season. But at the same time, I think we're set. I think, you know, Tyrod Taylor can handle it. And if something were to happen, you know, maybe Tyrod gets injured or maybe he's underperforming, we can roll out with Justin Herbert and see what we have in our new quarterback. Next up, it's going to be Easton Stick. I hear a lot of people asking me about Easton Stick. Like, give Easton Stick a chance. He's going to, you know, he's got a lot in the tank. He's going to be, you know, a really good quarterback if he's just given the opportunity. And this is really difficult for me to come out and say because I know there's a lot of Easton Stick believers out there, and he could be awesome. He really could be. You never know what you're getting out of a quarterback. Even as Easton Stick, I think we picked him up in like the 5th round. He could be really good. But I see the Chargers as drafting this kid as a backup, as a long-term backup, okay? Think of that relationship that Phillip Rivers had with Charlie Whitehurst back in the day. I think it's going to be the same thing with Justin Herbert and Easton Stick. I think that's the long-term plan going in. You know, Easton Stick is a very mobile quarterback. That's the scheme that the Chargers want to go into. He's very cheap. He's very reliable. You guys saw him in the preseason game. He wowed a lot of us. Do I think he ever gets the start? Possibly not, unless circumstances point in that direction, you know, maybe with an injury or something like that. But he is a great quarterback. I think he's a great, one of the best backups you can get in the league right now with a lot of untapped potential. That's kind of my thoughts on Easton Stick. Let's move on to the halfbacks right here, guys. This one's also kind of easy for me. Let's start up with Austin Eckler. He had an amazing season last year, breakout season, you know, with Melvin Gordon on the bench. I feel like he's going to have another incredible season. You think about what the Chargers are rolling out as far as their offense this year, the kind of scheme that they want to be rolling with. I think you're going to see a lot of Tyrod Taylor or Justin Herbert, you know, checking down to Austin Eckler quite a bit. Very similar to how they utilize Christian McCaffrey out in Carolina. So that could be a really awesome thing to see, man. You know, first time we've ever seen Austin Eckler, true starter for the entire year. You know, no Melvin Gordon out there. And he has some really decent backups along the way. So what I'm talking about backups here, let's get Justin Jackson here on the list as our halfback number 2. He's going to be amazing. You know, I've always seen Justin Jackson as like a star in the making, that he just needs an opportunity to get out there. And I think Justin Jackson is definitely up to carrying that load. I can kind of see him carrying the same amount of carries as maybe Austin Eckler behind Melvin Gordon. So we've just kind of shifted everything up a little bit, you know, the next man up sort of mentality. And I think Justin Jackson's going to be awesome, man. We've seen him perform as a starter in circumstances in the past couple of seasons. He's been just wild, man. Absolutely amazing. Love Justin Jackson as our halfback too. And then finally, let's bring in the man with the plan, Joshua Kelly. He's going to be pretty cool too, man. You have to look at what they drafted Joshua Kelly to be. He's a bowling ball out there, man. You know, if it's 3rd and short, you know, 3rd and goal, I think we're handing it off to Joshua Kelly. I think we're handing it off to him because he's just such a bruiser running back, man. He can get in there between the tackles. He's not very elusive, but I think we drafted him to do one thing only, and that's kind of take that role that Melvin Gordon had of our 3rd down running back, or I should say our, you know, 3rd and goal running back kind of situation. And he's going to be really, really nice out there. I really like Joshua Kelly. Next up, let's take a look at our wide receivers. This is where things get kind of exciting, man. Let's take a look at our Keenan Allen, wide receiver 1. I'm so nervous about free agents next year, man. If there's one guy we got to keep, I think there's 2 or 3 guys we really do need to keep, and that's going to be Keenan Allen, Joey Bosa, and Hunter Henry. We're going to have the cap to make it happen. We need to keep Keenan Allen on the roster. Undisputed wide receiver 1 for this team, a leader for that, you know, wide receiver core. I think he's up to the challenge once again. He's going to help develop some of these new cats that we got coming in, man. I think Keenan Allen's the perfect mentor for some of these new guys we got coming in. Next up, we've obviously got Mike Williams, who's going to be amazing once again. I think some people asked me on my Q&A show yesterday, you know, who's going to be a breakout player for the Chargers? And it's kind of hard to call Mike Williams a breakout player because he has had a couple of back-to-back really, really nice seasons. We want to get those touchdowns back to, like, what was it, the 2018 season? He had like 10 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, something like that. He was absolutely incredible. I think Mike Williams is about to do that once again. I think the Chargers know what they have in him, deep threat. They're always Chargers fans are asking me, like, who's going to be the deep threat guy, the new, you know, Travis Benjamin. I think we should maybe give Mike Williams a chance. He may not be the fastest guy out there to stretch the field, but when he's running a streak on the outside, you've got to respect Mike Williams out there, dude. He can come up with any catch against any coverage at any time. So I really like Mike Williams as kind of a breakout player once again this season. And then wide receiver 3, this is where things got interesting. I think, in my opinion, we should throw KJ Hill in the slot, man. We'll put him in the slot right here. I think KJ Hill is one of those players that really specializes in that area of wide receiver. You know, Keenan Allen can play that position very well as well, but I think, you know, KJ Hill, he's kind of perfectly fitted in that role, and I want to see him as a starter on this team. It could be Andre Patton, I'm not going to lie. I do like Andre Patton as well, but I think KJ Hill is very much so up to the challenge of taking that slot position and thriving with it. So who's going to come in at wide receiver 4? I do think that's where Andre Patton comes in, you know, a veteran of the team right now. He's been a little bit low on the depth chart for the past few years, but I think he can, you know, handle that workload. And then finally at the end, I'm going to put Joe Reed. The reason Joe Reed is so far down is that I want to reserve Joe Reed as that, like, specialty wide receiver, keep him on special teams. I want him to be that threat at returner that this team really needs. We had Desmond King. I feel like he, you know, went down a little bit in his productivity in that situation. I want to be able to just focus on defensive back, and I think Joe Reed, probably the best kick returner in this entire class, he should be able to focus on that situation as well on special teams. So I really, really like Joe Reed, you know, as that, you know, specialty kind of player. Next up at tight end, let's go ahead and throw in our Hunter Henry. We know he's going to be there. He's going to be, you know, one of the best tight ends in the league. Bit of an injury concern on him, though, so we have to make sure the depth at that position is solid. But Hunter Henry, when healthy, is one of the best tight ends in the entire NFL. And I'm really confident that he's going to help, you know, the progression of maybe Tyrod Taylor. I think Justin Herbert is going to love the crap out of Hunter Henry, and they're going to make a really, really nice receiving. But you look at the weapons on this team, man, absolutely insane. Who's going to take the number 2 spot? I think it's still going to be Virgil Green. Virgil Green at tight end too. He's definitely one of those vertical threat kind of guys as well. Maybe better suited in blocking, but I think he's been doing very well at his tight end 2 position the last couple of seasons. No reason to break what or fix what ain't broken. And then finally, we're going to put in Donald Parham. I think he's going to be an awesome developmental piece. He's going to probably sit there at number 3, maybe even number 4 for a while. But as he develops, I think we could have our own Darren Waller story in the making for the tight end core in the Chargers offense. So I really like Donald Parham. He could develop into a guy that becomes becomes a big threat. I mean, the guy's 6'8", he's got great speed. Kind of think of a taller Evan Ingram. He's going to be really, really nasty out there once he's, you know, ready to fit that offensive scheme with us as well. So maybe we go out there with 2 tight ends at some point. You know, Virgil Green, more of a blocking kind of guy. We put out Hunter Henry and Donald Parham, and, you know, see who can get open from the tight end position. Very, very interesting. And then finally, let's go into the offensive line. This one's really simple for me. There's a lot more guys on the depth chart for this guy, but I do want to just kind of make it simple for you guys. Let's start with Trey Pipkins. I think he's going to be starting at left tackle for us. There's some people saying that it might be Forrest Lamp, but I have Forrest Lamp slotted in right here at left guard. And Forrest Lamp, such an interesting story ever since he was drafted. You know, he could be this big, you know, behemoth on the offensive line. You know, absolutely so reliable in his college career, but at the same time, what's funny is he was never injured, I don't think, in his college career until he made it to the NFL, and then it just seems like he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So I'm hoping this is the year we finally get to see Forrest Lamp. A lot of us very excited when we got him in the second round a few years ago, and I'm hoping this is the year that he can break out. Finally, we got Mike Pouncey as a center. Very, very solid player. New acquisition, Trey Turner at right guard, probably one of the best in the business right now. Super excited to have him on the team. And then Brian Bulaga, probably my most exciting offensive add in the free agency this year. I really like Brian Bulaga. He's going to be so good. There is a chance too, guys, think about this, that we do keep maybe Trey Pipkins on the right side and then move Brian Bulaga to the left side, because that's going to be the blind side of a Justin Herbert or a Tyrod Taylor, and he's very much so up to the challenge. Brian Bulaga can definitely protect the quarterback from the left side too, so you never know. But for now, I'm just going to keep Trey Pipkins on the left side because it feels like they're very confident in him there, and then Brian Bulaga, we're going to keep him where he's been the best in his career at right tackle. So what do you guys think of this tier list? Let me know. I think this is what the Chargers offense is going to look like. I'm very excited to see how this all clicks together, but you just look at this offensive, the offensive weapons on this team, man. Eckler, Jackson, you know, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, KJ Hill, who I'm really, really high on, you know, tight end Hunter Henry. I think I like Donald Parham a lot more than Virgil Green as far as an offensive weapon. And then the quarterback situation could be worse, guys. Some people are like really upset and really nervous about what the season's going to look like, you know, because we're unsure about our quarterback position. It could be so much worse, man. You know, Tyrod Taylor isn't a bad quarterback. Justin Herbert, we don't know yet. He could be amazing. So very excited to see what the Chargers offense looks like in 2020. Well, guys, in the comment section below, you guys can go check out this list for yourselves if you want to. You know, you can leave a link to the depth chart. That's what you guys think it may look like in the 2020 season. I'm very excited to see what this team is shaping up to be in this upcoming season, guys. Well, guys, thank you so much. This has been The Director. If you like this video, hit us up with a like and sub. We'll see you next time, and as always, stay frosty.